Good evening and welcome, friends. I'm so excited that you're here with me tonight. It's Kit Crush Wednesday, and I'm Lisa Maynard with Stamping Trails. And again, I'm so excited that you're here. I'm going to wait a couple minutes to give people a chance to jump on and find us. It's been a while since I've been live. I was gone last week, and the week before I was semi live. I had a board meeting, so it was recorded. So, again, just going to give people a couple minutes to jump on and find us here live on Wednesday. I schedule these for every Wednesday, and we do these so that I can give you a glimpse into the kit collections that are offered by Stampin' Up. And this week's kit is really kind of cool. It's called City Sites, and it's just a little bit different than what we've seen before. So I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera around now, and we're going to get started, and I'm going to show you what we're going to put together tonight. So here we go, and a couple people have jumped on. I see that. Welcome. Let me know you're here. I always appreciate everybody that jumps on. So this is called City Sites, and it's a new kit by Stampin' Up. And these are the two cards that I pre-made, Thinking of You. It's got a cityscape. Both of them are cityscapes with the coordinating envelopes. Very, very cool. Very sophisticated. Here's one, Happy Birthday, with a coordinating envelope. And I love all the textures and the layers on these. And hi, Vanita, thanks for joining. Glad you could find me. I had to log on a little bit different tonight, so I'm glad that there are people actually viewing and live. But these are really, really cool. And so I'm going to go ahead and set these aside and pull out the kit, and we're going to see what's in it. I'm going to go ahead and put that grid paper there because we're going to need that. We're going to need that tonight because we are going to do some stamping with these. There's just two cards, two different cards that are in this set, but you can make 4 of each design. So that's pretty cool. So we have our instructions. As always, we have some mini Stampin' Dimensionals, those awesome little foam things that pop up our sentiments and such. We have what the stamps were on. This stamp set does, or this actual kit doesn't have any sentiment stamps, but this is what the stamps look like. Now I've already put them on some stamping blocks here, so they're already ready to go. Now you might think, oh, that doesn't look like it would fit on the stamping block that you get, but it will. They're the same size block. I just use my regular blocks. So those, when I'm done, will go back onto these acetate sheets. We have our stamping block, as we do with all kits. We have our Stampin' Spot. This is Pebble Path. This is a really cool color. It's like a brownish gray in between. Very cool. Tearing tape instead of the little glue dots. So we're going to use some of that tonight. And these cute little copper shiny adhesive backed embellishments that we're going to use. And I can't figure out how to get those open right now. Let me get those open because I'm going to need those for sure later on this evening. So let me get those out of the paper. They're really cool, and they just add so much to it. So I'm going to have those right there. Then we're not stamping the sentiments in this set. They come already pre-made. And again, these come in different languages. So we have 2 sets of the sentiment pieces. We also have this part. It's the one of the layering pieces, and it's I guess serrated. It's raised and bumpy-ish. Like, it's just really, really cool. So that gives a lot of texture and a different element to it. Then we've got our pieces that we stamp on. These we're going to punch out. They've already punched out. But those are your pieces there that you're going to stamp the skyline on. And then our card bases, one that goes horizontal and the other that goes vertical. So I'm going to go ahead and put these back in here. and put these back in here. And I'm going to go ahead and set this aside. And we're going to bring in our first card. And when I say goodbye to you, I'm going to be sideways. So just bear with me. I'm not sure what's up with my camera, with Facebook tonight. I had to log on differently. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's because I've been gone. I don't know, but I'm glad everybody found me. So we're going to take this first card base and we're going to just burnish it so it has a nice crisp edge so it lays flat. And isn't that cool? It's just they've drawn this and then like a reflection in the water or from the earth. So it's very, very cool. So we're going to bring in this one piece. So I've already punched this out. In the middle of it was the cutout of, and I have it the wrong way, the sky was in there. And so we're going to stamp on this part of it. And then we're going to add some little dimensionals to it to pop that up on our card. So we're going to come in here with our pebble path. I'm going to go from my ink spot onto my stamp. And these are just little tiny dots on this image stamp. And it's going to create what we see in the finished card as, hi, Mary, corduroy. Yes, thank you. Corduroy. Yes, that's exactly what it is. It looks like it's corduroy. We're going to create what it looks like windows, a window scene, like there are lights on in the skyscrapers. We don't really have that much in Montana. So there's a skyline in different cities, but not as much in Montana. We have the First Interstate Center, and that's about our tallest building there. So I'm gonna that's inked up well enough. So I've got my grid paper under here. So we are going to corrugated is another way to say that. It's a corrugated piece of paper. So there we go. Wow, all the words are coming to me now. So I'm gonna go in here. And the reason I have my grid paper is because when I stamp this, I'm going to go off a little bit because it doesn't lay exactly right on, which is fine because you can do this however you want. So when I stamp the lights, the image on here, it kind of went off my paper just a little bit off my piece that I'm stamping on. So there we have that. It's pretty cool. So that reflects the lights in the skyscrapers. And now we're going to go ahead and turn that over, and I'm going to put some Stampin' Dimensionals on this because we're going to pop this up, and I'm going to put quite a few on here because we want this to adhere nicely to the card, and we don't want it to fly around, and we want it to stand up very nicely. Now I'm going to try and put these Stampin' Dimensionals on so that they're kind of square with the edges, if that makes sense. So I want to basically try and line them up as best as I can so they don't show through. Sometimes when you put the pointy edge up towards the top, you can see that. So you want to try and get them, or I do at least want to try and get them. I like to get them so I can hide them as much as possible. So there we go. We're going to bring this in and take off all of the backings. If you hear dogs barking, we have the dogs back. We have Miss Molly back, and we have Megan's dog Thatcher right now that we're taking care of for a while. So if you hear dogs in the background, that's what we got going on at our house. We have dogs and dogs. Okay, we're going to bring this in now, and we're going to put this in the skyline, and I'm going to put it right about here. I want it to reflect, I want to see some of the reflection from the skyline down there, but I'm going to put it just like that. Now I'm going to come in. This is super easy. That is all the stamping we're going to do. This card is almost made. We are going to now come in, and I've got the tear and tape on the back of it. I already did that. So I'm going to come in with my Take Your Pick tool here and take the backing off of that, just like so. And then we're going to line that up under the skyline a little bit, offset it a little bit, make sure it's as straight as I can get it. And we're going to adhere that right there. I probably should have put a mini glue dot on the back of that one And I could probably still do that, which in fact, I think that I'm going to do. I think I'm going to flip this over. I didn't do it on the other one, but I think I might do it here because it's going to hold the edge of that up and then it's not going to flop down as much. So I kind of like to do that. I kind of like how that turned out better. It's up to you. Do what you want. Be creative. Now, on the sentiment, happy birthday, I took the backing off. Oops, took the backing off of the happy birthday. And now we're going to come in and we're going to place this kind of in the center and right about there. Just give it a nice press because it's got the double-sided tape on it. And there we go. There's our card. Now we're going to add these embellishments, these copper dots, shiny. They're very shiny. And they're just going to add just a little extra something to this card. And it's just, whoops, it's just going to make it stand up. Now I go, oh yeah, I picked that right up off my table there. Thank goodness. Okay, come in with that one and put it right about there. Like to do them in threes, odd numbers, and look at that. Isn't that just very cool? I just think they're very sophisticated and elegant. They don't necessarily have to be for men, but they could be for anyone that maybe lives in a city or out of state, or, you know, if you just want to send them kind of a different card. It's very, very cool. So I like that one a lot. And now, okay, so we're going to bring in the second card here. And again, we have a city skyscape, I guess we could say. And I'm going to burnish this card just like this. Make it nice and flat. This one is going to be landscaped. So we have the skyline here and then the reflection here. And again, we're going to stamp an image on this particular piece right here. So I'm going to come in with my image stamp, and it's the skyline and all the buildings. So I'm going to come in with my pebble path again. That's very quick, Mary. These cards are super quick. They're super fun to make. And you can make a card so quickly. This is a great kit for that. If you need something quick and easy, this is it. This is it. I'm telling you. When they say quick, they mean quick. So we're going to come in with this and we're going to ink up the skyline, the skyscrapers. Again, I think if we did Billings, we would have one building, maybe two, but this makes me think of New York or Seattle or Chicago, somewhere like that. It doesn't make me think of Billings for sure, or anywhere in Montana that I can think of that has skyscrapers. So I'm going to come in like that, and I think that's fairly inked up well. Now I'm going to come in just like so, and I'm going to try and keep my head out of the way. But this kind of lines up with my piece of cardstock. So I'm going to line that up, and I might have got a little heavy in some areas. That's okay, because buildings might be, you know, they might have some dimension to them in areas. And then I'm just going to push that down, and there we go. There is our buildings, all nice and inked and ready to be adhered to the card. So I'm going to go ahead and put the cap on my ink spot so I don't get that in my hand. I don't get my hands in it. Now on this one, we are going to go ahead and flip this over because I couldn't put the mini dimensionals on there. I'm going to put the mini dimensionals on it now because this is also popped up on our card. And I'm going to put 4 across it, right about like so. And then I'm going to come in with my tear and tape. I could have put this on, but I didn't. I'm trying to find the edge of the tear. There we go. I'm going to put some tear and tape on the bottom of this stamped image, just like so. And it's tear and tape because you could tear it, but I just like to use my snips just like that and snip that piece off. Okay, now this already has, this is another layer. We're going to layer this piece that I stamped onto this blue piece. And so as you can see, I put the tear and tape down at the bottom here because it's going to adhere on here. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to take the backing off of this. So this is kind of a step process to get this one together. And then I'm going to come in, and I think I want it according to the directions and how I have liked it. I think I'm going, can you see? Okay. I'm going to do it just about like so. And I'm going to just press that down like so. And, you know, I might actually, maybe I'm going to bring that up just a little bit more. I'm going to bring that up on the blue just a little bit more because I want to leave room for my sentiment, and I want some of that blue to show through, and I don't want to cover up all my buildings. So I brought that up on the blue just a little bit more. It's pretty easy until you press really hard to lift that up. So that's what I went ahead and did. Now I'm going to flip that over, and we're going to take off the backings of these little Stampin' Dimensionals again. And they get all over the place. Usually I can get them off with my fingers. That works really well. Sometimes the mini backings don't like to come off, but these are doing fairly well tonight. So now I'm going to come in, and I want this to be layered near the bottom of the card, but not all the way to the bottom. So I think that looks pretty good right about there. So I'm going to go ahead and put that down and see how it's all popped up just like so. Perfect. Now we're going to take our sentiment, which has already been done for us because we don't need to stamp on this one. This has dimensionals also. We lose a lot of dimensionals in this. So we're going to take the backings off of that. And I'm going to, again, stagger this a little bit. So we want it not all the way to the edge, but I want some of that blue of my corrugated paper to show through. Let's get that a little bit more centered on there, I think. I'm going to hold that up, and that is off on that side. Let's bring that up a little bit. Sometimes I can't see looking down. Sometimes, I don't know if you have to do that. Sometimes I have to hold it up to see if it looks centered or not, or straight. And that looks pretty good. So there we go. There is our card. Now we're going to go ahead and add some of these really shiny copper dots to just finish it off. And I'm going to put one there. And again, we do this in, I like to do it in threes because it's just more pleasing to the eye. And we'll put one right about there. And there we go, friends. There we go. We have our card. Thinking of you today. Again, really sophisticated, cool looking card that anyone I think would love to receive. It doesn't have to be, again, masculine in any way, just a very, very sophisticated looking card. So there we go. I'm going to bring these back in and show you again how cool. That was so easy, right? Super, super easy. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit before I go sideways because you probably don't want to look at me sideways for a really long time. A couple things that I wanted to mention, and then I will turn it around to sign off. But coming up, and if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you know that bonus days are coming up in July, which means if for every $50 you spend, you can earn a coupon for $5 that you can use towards any purchase you make in August. So I've posted about that, and I'll post about it again several times, obviously. So that is starting July 3rd. From July 3rd through the end of July, for every $50 you purchase in Stampin' Up! Products, you earn a coupon for $5. Those get emailed to you, and then you get to use those in August however you wish. You can use them for kits. You can use them for paper pumpkin. You can use them for any of the supplies you want, anything like that. So that's pretty awesome. Now, I am going to turn this around because I need to sign off, but I am sideways again. I don't know why it turns me sideways, but I'm sideways. So thank you all for joining me tonight. I truly appreciate it. I love when I can comment, and when you comment and know that you're here enjoying what I'm making. I've got some new cards that I made that I put up on Facebook the other day. And so go ahead and check those out. They're on Instagram too. They're the country suite with the birdhouses and things. Just love that set. So go ahead and check those out. I'll put the link to these cards in the comments. I will be live next week with the paper pumpkin that I just got in the mail this past week. So that's a really cool one. We've got some fruit, some lemons and cherries and stuff in there. So that's going to be a really, really fun one. So stay tuned for that. Share this with your friends. If you haven't signed up for my email, I'll put the link in there. And if you have already signed up, be sure to share that with your friends so you don't miss out on anything. I'm going to try and be better about sending out emails. It's been a little crazy lately trying to find being out of town and those sorts of things, but I'm going to try and be better about that. And also try and fix this video situation. I know I keep saying that, but I am going to try to do that. So with that, thank you again, friends, for tuning in. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Try and stay cool, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.